Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This time around, we're going to travel back in time to check out some of my favorite photos of Frank Sinatra's first home in Palm Springs. You're going to see some really cool snaps, some of which you may have never seen before. Before I begin, please like and share the show and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And check out my sponsor, campfireshop.com, to buy really awesome candles, herbal supplements, and teas. Now please join me around the campfire. When Frank Sinatra arrived in Palm Springs in 1947, the town was a relatively quiet desert retreat. However, the presence of Frank Sinatra and other Hollywood bigwigs would soon transform this sleepy oasis into the ultimate destination for Hollywood's elite. Sinatra's connection with Palm Springs began when he was searching for a weekend getaway for his family, following a signing of a lucrative movie contract with MGM. He also just made his first $1 million and was looking for ways to spend that money. Palm Springs, recommended by his close friend, composer Jimmy Van Heusen, yes, I said that correctly, offered the perfect escape from Los Angeles. Van Heusen, who had stumbled upon the desert town during a stopover on a flight, was so enamored with its beauty that he and Sinatra flew there to visit the very night that he told Sinatra about it. Sinatra was immediately captivated by the area's tranquil beauty and decided that it would be the ideal location for a retreat where he could relax and entertain in style. And so in mid-1947, 31-year-old Frank Sinatra walked into the offices of architect E. Stewart Williams with an ice cream cone in hand and a vision in mind. He requested the construction of a grand Georgian-style mansion, complete with a brick facade and columns. Yeah, I know. That's what he wanted. Williams sensed that the Georgian style would clash with the climate and landscape. But how do you say no to Frank Sinatra, right? Oh yeah, and Sinatra also wanted the home to be ready in time for his annual Christmas party, which was roughly 6 months away. Once again, how do you say no to Frank Sinatra? Now today, Palm Springs has covenants, conditions, and restrictions, as well as zoning regulations that influence the type of construction allowed, including limitations on multi-story buildings, which is what Sinatra wanted. But I am not sure if any of that was in place at the time. So Williams might not have been able to use that as an excuse. And so Williams probably said, a Georgian-style mansion in the desert, huh? Well, listen, Mr. Sinatra, give me a few days to sketch some ideas for you. Now get out of my office before any more of that ice cream drips on my floor. Just kidding, he probably didn't say that. Or maybe he did. I sure would have. Well, maybe. And so when Sinatra returned to the architect's office, hopefully without an ice cream cone this time around, Williams presented Sinatra with two architectural renderings. One of the traditional Georgian design Sinatra initially desired, and another of a sleek, single-story, modernist home that embraced the desert's natural beauty. Now let's be honest, shall we? The architect's psychological strategy was brilliant. You see, by offering Sinatra both the traditional Georgian design that he initially wanted and a modernist alternative, he made Sinatra feel in control, which he was anyway. The modernist design, with its clean lines, expansive windows, and integration with the surrounding environment, captured Sinatra's imagination. Despite his initial preference for the grandeur of a Georgian mansion, Sinatra was persuaded by Williams' vision and opted for a design that would come to define the mid-century modern movement in Palm Springs. Now, whether or not you're a fan of Sinatra as an entertainer or as a person, you got to admit, this was pretty cool of him. Sinatra's decision to embrace this modernist approach demonstrated his openness to contemporary trends and his willingness to break away from traditional norms. His choice reflected a deeper understanding of how architecture could enhance the lifestyle he desired, a blend of luxury, comfort, and modernity that was in harmony with the natural surroundings of Palm Springs. Named for the two palm trees that stood by the home, Twin Palms, the house, completed just in time for Sinatra's Christmas party in 1947, was built as a 4,500 square foot, single-story residence with 4 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. Its design epitomized the mid-century modern aesthetic: long horizontal lines, flat and slightly sloping roofs, and vast windows that brought the desert landscape into the living space. The open floor plan facilitated a flow between indoor and outdoor spaces, creating an environment that was as much about experiencing the desert as it was about escaping it. Williams' design was not just about aesthetics. It was also a response to the desert's extreme climate. Oh, by the way, the house was air-conditioned, an uncommon feature at the time, which ensured that Sinatra and his guests could enjoy comfort year-round. Now I know a lot of people love seeing kitchens, so let's check out this one. Sinatra's kitchen at Twin Palms was as stylish and functional as the rest of the house. The kitchen reflected the era's design trends, characterized by clean lines, simplicity, and practicality, all wrapped in a cool modern aesthetic. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like much of a big deal today, but back then, this was pretty cool stuff. The kitchen embodied mid-century modern design, with flat front cabinetry, stainless steel countertops, and integrated appliances that were cutting edge for the time. The cabinetry was made of wood with sleek handles. The kitchen was also equipped with top-of-the-line appliances, including a built-in oven, stove, and refrigerator, which were all considered luxury items in the 1940s. Now let's check out the bathrooms. As you can see, they featured clean lines and minimalist decor. The color palettes were typically neutral, with shades of white, beige, and soft pastels. Now let's check out the swimming pool. You can't tell me it wouldn't be awesome to go swimming in that pool. As you can see, the pool was the perfect centerpiece for outdoor parties, offering a cool, inviting space where guests could relax, swim, or simply enjoy the ambiance. Think about all the famous people that Frank Sinatra knew, such as Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Tony Curtis, Marilyn Monroe, Dinah Shore, and countless others who spent a lot of time in and around that pool. As you can see, the surrounding patio had plenty of space for lounging, with umbrellas and seating areas that encouraged social interaction. Now, the story behind the piano shape is indeed an interesting one. You see, the pool was not originally intended to be piano-shaped. The pool's design evolved as Williams worked on the layout of the property, particularly considering the relationship between the house, the surrounding landscape, and the pool. And so the shape that ultimately emerged happened to resemble a grand piano, especially when viewed from above. So I think we could all agree that it was just sort of a happy accident. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Before I continue, can you please do me a favor and like and share the show, and kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You can support my research and productions by buying exclusive candles, herbal supplements, and teas at campfireshop.com, especially for the holidays. The house was designed for entertaining, with a spacious living and dining area that flowed seamlessly. Twin Palms embraced Palm Springs indoor-outdoor living, with large glass doors connecting the living areas to the patio and pool, creating a natural extension of the indoor space. The inviting living room featured flexible seating arrangements and a grand piano as the focal point. And if you look at that area right there, it was sort of a home recording studio for Frank, which was a really big deal and an incredible expense at the time. The bedrooms and private quarters were somewhat secluded from the main entertainment areas, allowing guests who wish for a quieter moment to retreat and relax. This balance between open spaces and private nooks contributed to the overall comfort and enjoyment of guests, especially if there was some Hollywood hanky-panky going on. Who says hanky-panky? Forget I said that. Hanky-panky? Nobody says that. Does anybody say that? If you say hanky-panky, let me know in the comments below. The house featured stylish mid-century modern lighting, which helped create a warm and inviting atmosphere, particularly in the evening. The combination of natural light during the day and carefully designed artificial lighting at night made the space versatile and adaptable for different types of events, from casual get-togethers to more formal gatherings. The use of flagstone walls that extend from the inside to the outside is a hallmark of the mid-century modern style, reinforcing the connection between the home and its natural surroundings while creating a cohesive, visually appealing environment that is ideal for the indoor-outdoor lifestyle that Sinatra enjoyed. While Twin Palms was a place of glamour, it was also the backdrop for some of the most turbulent moments in Sinatra's life. His marriage to his first wife, Nancy, ended while the couple was living at Twin Palms, largely due to Sinatra's highly publicized infidelities. I guess nobody told Nancy that being married to Frank Sinatra meant, well, you know. Anyway, Sinatra's longtime lover, actress Ava Gardner, ooh la la, moved into the house. Now that's just rude, isn't it? Never, ever, ever move the new woman into the first woman's house. That's not cool. Guys, don't do that. That's not cool. You gotta find a new place. That ain't right. If I'm wrong about that, kindly let me know in the comments below. The couple's relationship, one of the most passionate and tumultuous in Hollywood history that we know of, played out within the walls of Twin Palms. In fact, Miss Gardner herself would later reflect on the intensity of their time together at Twin Palms, recalling one explosive fight where Sinatra, in a fit of rage, threw a champagne bottle at her, leaving a crack in one of the bathroom sinks. A physical reminder of the volatility of their relationship. Despite, or perhaps because of the drama, Twin Palms remained Sinatra's refuge from the pressures of his public life and a place where he could retreat from the gossip and scrutiny of Hollywood, which was as corrupt and vile back then as it is today. Interestingly, in repayment of a favor, Sinatra allowed portions of the 1950 film The Damned Don't Cry, starring Joan Crawford, was shot at Frank Sinatra's Twin Palms house. If you've not seen that movie, you really should. It's a really interesting flick. The modernist design of the Twin Palms estate provided an ideal setting for the film's depiction of wealth and power. By the way, they only shot exteriors, which included the front driveway and the swimming pool. No interior shots were filmed at Twin Palms. One of the reasons that Palm Springs became a hotspot retreat for celebrities was in large part due to the 2-hour rule imposed by Hollywood studios during the golden age of cinema. Check this out. Hollywood studios often had strict contracts with their stars, stipulating that they had to be available at short notice for filming, promotional work, or reshoots. And so as part of these contracts, actors were not allowed to travel more than 2 hours away from the studio during production. This was to ensure that they could return to the studio quickly if needed. And so Palm Springs was perfectly located about that distance so celebrities could escape, but yet be close enough to be able to return to Hollywood if they needed to. Also, as a result of the seemingly never-ending stream of wealthy people moving to Palm Springs, the area became a hub for architectural innovation, particularly with the rise of mid-century modern design. Many stars commissioned homes that were not only luxurious, but also architecturally significant, adding to the town's allure as a stylish retreat. Sinatra sold Twin Palms in 1957, but the house's influence continues to resonate. The house was rented out to notable figures including playwright Moss Hart and actress Judy Garland, who used it as a retreat while rewriting the screenplay for A Star Is Born. The home's design was immortalized in photographs by renowned architectural photographer Julius Shulman, whose images captured the sleek elegance and innovative spirit of Williams' creation. The house was later occupied by a Texas couple for 43 years, during which it fell into disrepair, which I don't understand at all. How in the world do you live in a house for 43 years and let it fall apart? Especially when it was Frank Sinatra's home. What gives? Why didn't one of Frank's friends go in there and buy the house and fix it up? How about his kids? Hey Nancy, if those boots were made for walking, why didn't you walk on over there and buy your freaking dad's house and fix the place up? Good grief, I don't get it. Anyway, the property changed hands again in 2000 for $1,345,000. Now we're talking. And later in 2005 for $2.9 million. In 2010, Twin Palms was listed for sale at $3.25 million smackaroos. Now here's where things get cool for you and me. we could actually stay there if we want to. You see, Frank Sinatra's Twin Palms estate in Palm Springs is no longer a private residence, but rather a luxury vacation rental and event venue. And so as of the time of this recording, we could stay there for $4,000 a night. So if anybody listening has that kind of bread and wants to invite me over for tea and scones and to go swimming in the pool, kindly let me know in the comments below, because you know I'd be there. So what do you think of Twin Palms? If you were rolling in dough, would you live in a place like that? I gotta admit, it would be nice to have it as a second home, where one doesn't have too many personal possessions, so it can be a place to escape for a while and clear one's mind. This sort of modern design is certainly cool, but it kinda lacks the warmth and intimacy of other design styles. But you may feel differently and probably do. But don't get me wrong, I do love the modern design. By the way, I do not know who took some of the photos that I've shown in the show, so if you do, will you kindly let me know so I can respectfully give them the credit they deserve. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because there will be more shows like this one, and I hope you check those out too, including the homes of Dean Martin and Bob Hope. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com, where you could order the highest quality and exclusive candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more. I would also appreciate it if you could become a member of this channel and or join me on Patreon, where you can watch exclusive videos of places that I've been to. You could also leave a super thanks in the comments below. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings, and please do not harm or eat them. And please do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.